Good morning. Class 7th, we were reading chapter 4, that is heat. We were on page number 47. So students, open page number 47 in your science book and keep a pencil with you to underline hard words. In the previous classes, we have seen activity 4.5, activity 4.6, activity 4.7. Now in this class we are going to see practical applications of good conductors of heat. So students, now I am going to read. Number 1, cooking utensils are made of metals so that heat can easily get transferred to food. Means the cooking utensils are often made up of metals because the metal quickly found the heat and transferred it to the food by which food is cooked. Now the second, coils of refrigerator and air conditioners are made of copper to conduct away heat. Coils means curl of wires. So coils of refrigerator and air conditioner are made of copper. Copper is a type of metal. The copper coils of the fridge and AC soak away the heat. Now the third, mercury, a liquid metal, is used as a thermometric fluid. We all know that mercury is a metal, that is liquid mercury. Is filled in the thermometer to measure the temperature. Some key facts: liquids and gases are bad conductor of heat. So liquids and gases cannot pass heat. Mercury, a liquid, is an exception. It is a good conductor of heat. So mercury, which is a liquid, and you can say that mercury is an exceptional case because it is a good conductor of heat because mercury is a metal. Now here we are going to read practical applications of bad conductors of heat. First, handles of cooking utensils are made of bakelite. Here you have to underline bakelite. Bakelite is a type of plastic. Wood, etc., because these are bad conductors of heat. They do not get hot and allow easy handling of hot utensils. So the handles of the utensils are made of wood or plastic. Wood and plastic are non-metallic and do not allow heat to be transferred inside, which keeps it cool, and we can easily hold it to cook food. Now students, turn the page. Woolen clothes are warm in winter because wool is an insulator. It allows body's heat to be trapped inside and thus it does not freeze the body. Here you have to underline insulator means a body which is poor conductor of heat. You have to underline trapped means capture. So from this point we have understood that woolen clothes are worn in the cold. Woolen cloth acts as an insulator means poor conductor of heat. By keeping inside the heat, it keeps our body warm and does not allow heat to go outside. So that's why it does not freeze the body. Next, hair and fur in animals are bad conductors of heat, so they keep them warm during winter by trapping heat within. The thick outer covering of hair or fur on the skin of animals are the bad conductors of heat, as they absorb the heat inside and do not let the heat out, which keeps the animal warm in the cold. Now the next, Eskimos make igloos out of snow because snow contains a large amount of trapped air which acts as an insulator and keeps the igloos warm. Here you have to underline Eskimos. Eskimos are the members of indigenous people inhabiting northern part of the country. Now you have to underline igloos. Igloos, a type of dome-shaped shelter built from blocks of solid snow. Here you can see the image of igloo. So from this point we have understood that Eskimos make igloos which is made of snow, and because snow is a bad conductor of heat, or you can say that snow is an insulator, so it captures heat inside and do not let the heat go outside, which and therefore it keeps igloos warm. So trapped air keeps the igloos warm. Now we are going to understand about the convection. In case of heat transfer by conduction, you observed that there was no actual movement of molecules. In case of convection, heat transfer takes place by actual movement of molecules from hot region to cold regions. These mobile molecules carry heat energy with them. Okay, so you can understand this paragraph that you must have seen that in the process of conduction the molecules of solid do not go anywhere except their place. If a substance is given so much heat that its molecules leave their place and start moving to other place, then this means of transfer of heat is called convection. In this medium, the molecule keep heat inside and moves from hot region to cold region. Now here you can read the definition of convection: heat transfer in which heat is carried from the hotter part of a substance to its colder part by actual movement of hot particles in it is called convection. Convection requires mobile molecules. It is not possible in solid because the molecules of solid are held strongly due to intermolecular forces, so it can take place only in liquid and gases and not in solids. So here you have to underline mobile molecules means molecules which can move from their place. Intermolecular forces, a force by which molecules can bind with each other. Okay, so convection requires movable molecules, and convection is not possible in solid because the particles or molecules of solid are held together by the intermolecular forces and therefore they cannot move or they cannot leave their place, and that's why convection is possible only in liquid and gases and not in solid. because in liquid and gases molecules can move or can leave their places. Let us perform activity 4.8 and 4.9 to understand convection in liquid and gases. So here you can see activity 4.8. You have an objective to show that water transfers heat via convection. You have to take a conical flask. You can see here a glass flask which is known as conical flask, which is used in laboratory, and keep it on an iron stand. Here you can say a stand which is made of iron metal. Fill it half with cold water. You have to fill this conical flask with cold water. To it add a large crystal of potassium permanganate. So here you have to put a large crystal of potassium permanganate which is blue in color, purple in color. So you have to put it in conical flask. Heat it over a burner as shown. So you have to heat this solution in the conical flask as shown in this figure. What do you observe? You will observe that when the crystal is dropping in water, some of it dissolves and gives pink color to water. As the water near the crystal is heated, it becomes lighter and rises. The rising water is hot and its molecules vibrate first. In this process, they strike the molecules of cold water which come in their way and transfer some of their energy to them. As a result, their vibrations are reduced and the rising water becomes cold. In the meantime, more hot water rises, pushing the cold water towards the sides of the flask. From the side, cold water comes down. This shows that water transfers heat by the movement of molecules from hotter to colder region through convection. So you have observed in this activity that when liquid on the bottom of conical flask get flame, then they become hot and they try to move from their place. So they strike the wall of conical flask and they try to push particles or molecules of liquid which are at the upside or upper side of those molecules, so by which they can move and by which they can leave their place permanently. So this shows that water transfers heat by the movement of molecules from hotter to colder region through convection. So students, that's all for today. In the next class we will see activity 4.9 which is on page number 49. So thank you class.